I seek refuge in God from Lord K. Satan. In the name of Allah, who is gracious, merciful. Quran topics by Tanvir Kazmi. Chapter number 6. God's intercessors. Wasila. English audio number 4. Al-Nahl 16 verse 27. Then on the day of resurrection, he will disgrace them and ask, where are my partners that you had set up beside me and had opposed me for their sake? Those blessed with knowledge will say, today the shame and misery have befallen the disbelievers. The angels put them to death in a state of wronging themselves. That is when they finally submit and say, we did not do anything wrong. Yes, indeed, God is fully aware of everything you have done. Al-Nahl 16 verse 35. The idol worshippers say, had God willed, we would not worship any idols beside him, nor would our parents, nor would our parents, nor would we prohibit anything besides his prohibitions. Those before them have done the same. Can the messengers do anything but deliver the complete message? We have sent a messengers to every community saying, you shall worship God and avoid idolatry. Subsequently, some were guided by Allah, while others was committed to straying. Roam the earth and note the consequences for the rejectors. Bani Israel 17 verse 32. Bani Israel 17 verse 23. Your Lord has decreed that you shall not worship except Him, and your parents shall be honored. As long as one or both of them live, you shall never say to them, Uff, the slightest gesture of annoyance, nor shall you shout at them. You shall treat them nicely, and lower for them the wings of humility and kindness, and say, my Lord, have mercy on them, for they have raised me for infancy. Bani Israel 17 verse 39. This is some of the wisdom inspired to you by your Lord. You shall not set up another God beside Allah, lest you end up in Gehenna fire, blamed and defeated. Bani Israel 17 verse 42. Say, if there were any other God beside him, as they claim, they would have tried to overthrow the possessor of the throne. Bani Israel 17 verse 43. Be he glorified, he is much too exalted, far above their utterances. Glorify, glorifying him are the seven universes, the earth and everyone in them. There is nothing that does not glorify him, but you do not understand their glorification. He is clement, forgiver. When you read the Quran, we place between you and those who do not believe in the hereafter an invisible barrier. We place shields around their minds to prevent them from understanding it, and deafness in their ears. And when you preach your Lord using the Quran alone, they run away in aversion. Bani Israel 17 verse 56. Say, implore whatever idols you have set up beside him. They have no power to relieve your afflictions, nor can they prevent them. Even the idols that they implore are seeking the ways and means toward their Lord. They pray for his mercy and fear his punishment. Surely the punishment of your Lord is dreadful. Bani Israel 17 verse 67. If you are afflicted in middle of the sea, you forget your idols and sincerely implore him alone. But as soon as he saves you to shore, you revert. Indeed, the human being is unappreciative. Have you guaranteed that he will not cause the land on shore to swallow you, or that he will not send upon you a tornado? Then you find no protector. Have you guaranteed that he will not return you to sea another time? Then send upon you a storm that drown you because of your disbelief? Once this happen, we will not give you another chance. Bani Israel 17 verse 111. And proclaim praise be to God who has never begotten a son, nor does he have a partner in his kingdom, nor does he need any ally out of weakness, and magnify him constantly. Al-Kahf 18 verse 26. Say, Allah is the best knower of how long they stayed there. He knows all secrets in the skies and the earth. By His grace you can see, by His grace you can hear. There is none beside Him as Lord and Master, and He never permits any partners to share in His kingship. Al Kahf 18, verse 37. His friend said to him as he debated with him, "Have you disbelieved in the one who created you from dust, then from a tiny drop, then perfected you into a man? As for me, God is my Lord, and I will never set up any other God beside my Lord." Al Kahf 18, verse 42. Indeed, his crops were wiped out, and he ended up sorrowful, lamenting what he had spent on it in vain, as his property lay barren. He finally said, "I wish I never set up my property as a God beside my Lord." No force on earth could have helped him against God, nor was it possible for him to receive any help. That is because the only true Lord and Master is Allah. He provides the best reward, and with Him is the best destiny. Al Kahf 18, verse 52. The day will come when He says, "Call upon my partners, whom you claim to be gods beside me." They will call on them, but they will not respond to them. An insurmountable barrier will separate them from each other. The guilty will see hellfire and will realize that they will fall into it. They will have no escape therefrom. Al Kahf 18, verse 110. Say, I am no more than a human like you, being inspired that your God is one God. Those who hope to meet their Lord shall work righteousness and never worship any other God beside his Lord. Maryam 19, verse 35. It does not befit Allah that He begets a son, be He glorified. To have anything done, He simply says it to it, be, and it is. He also proclaimed, God is my Lord and your Lord. You shall worship Him alone. This is the right path. Maryam 19, verse 81. They worship beside Allah other gods that they think may be of help to them. On the contrary, they will reject their idolatry and will be their enemies. Maryam 19, verse 88. They said, The Most Gracious has begotten a son. You have uttered a gross blasphemy. The skies are about to shatter, the earth is about to tear asunder, and the mountains are about to crumble, because they claim that the Most Gracious has begotten a son. It is not befitting the Most Gracious that he should beget a son. Every single one in the skies and the earth is a servant of his most gracious. He has encompassed them and is counted them one by one. All of them will come before him on the day of resurrection as individuals. Surah 20, verse 108. On that day, everyone will follow the caller without the slightest deviation. All sounds will be hushed before the most gracious Lord. You will hear nothing but whispers. On that day, intercession will be useless except for those permitted by the most gracious and those utterance conform to his will. He knows their past and their future, while none encompasses his knowledge. All faces will submit to the living, the eternal, and those who are burdened by their transgressions will fail. Al Anbiya 21, verse 24. Have they found other gods beside him? Say, show me your proof. This is the message to my generation, consummating all previous messages. Indeed, most of them do not recognize the truth. This is why they are so hostile. We did not send any messenger before you except with inspiration. There is no God except me. You shall worship me alone. Yet they said the most gracious has begotten a son. Glory be to him. All are honors his people. They never speak on their own and they strictly follow his commands. He knows their future and their past. They do not intercede except for those already accepted by him, and they are worried about their own necks. If any of them claims to be a god beside him, we required him with hellfire, who does require the wicked. Al-Anbiya 21 verse 42. Say, who can protect you from the most gracious during the night or during the day? Indeed, they are totally oblivious to the message of the Lord. Do they have gods who can protect them from us? They cannot even help themselves, nor can they accompany one another when they are summoned to face us. Al-Anbiya 21 verse 92. Your congregation is one congregation. Your religion is one, and I alone am your Lord. You shall worship me alone. However, they divided themselves into disputing religions. All of them will come to us. Al-Hajj 22 verse 12. He idolized beside God what possesses no power to harm him or benefit them. Such is the real straying. They idolize what is more apt to harm him than benefit them. What a miserable Lord, what a miserable companion.